great little horse, Northern Dancer. There he goes, Secretariat on the outside.
The champion, Alphabet Soup, has scored a shocking upset.
Yeah, motivated on focus. This is the moment. Gotta one up my opponent.
Games absolutely punishing them.
Gotta get it the mindset, gotta put it in motion. Game time, that I'm coming in clutch. No hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us.
But the mighty filly has devastated them.
Motivated on focus.
Prince becomes the king. Paramount Prince wins the 164 Kings Plate.
This is the moment.
And you and I know, because we handicap these cards all day long, some people love the outer, some horses love it, and some horses aren't crazy about the inner. Some love the inner, and they don't like the outer.
But you know what, I was talking with some of our guests yesterday, and I think they brought up some great points. It's a great way to kind of analyze how you're going to fit in at Del Mar, because it's a little bit more to what Del Mar's like, right? In terms of the inside turf course here as opposed to the EP Taylor. Listen, we love the EP Taylor and would love to have these races on the EP Taylor, but from a comparison point of view, it's a little bit more of an easier comparison.
So that's actually a good point, right? Because one of the other things that you talked about with one of the guests yesterday as well was horses that are used to going in a straightaway.
Yeah, the Godolphin horses for the most part.
Now they got a turn. And the guest that you had from England, I thought he was fantastic. Luke, just said, don't worry about these Godolphin horses.
Yeah.
They're able to teach them to go around turns one way, the other way, short, long, whatever. So yeah, we're looking forward to it today with these 5 big stakes races. And then, of course, we got to touch quickly on what happened yesterday. Yesterday was a little bit of a wacky day. We had, some long price winners on the card, some unusual winners.
Yep.
I thought one of them that was interesting to me was the Todd Kettleson runner, that being Valley Victory. Cheyenne Kerr was aboard with that horse, 20-1 morning line, 7-2.
Yeah, it was in the gates, really, really big price too, and the odds just kept tumbling down, down, and then one spring, and then one like a good thing too in the process too. Obviously, the Jackpot Power Pick 6 went. We still have mandatory payout today, but we got a nice little seeded pool for the Jackpot High 5.
So let's just talk about the wagering that we have for you on today's program as well, because there's some events, some wagering events that we're offering today that are a little different than the usual. Now we'll have that $100,000 guaranteed early pick 5 that'll start in race number 2, but then we'll have a $250,000 late pick 5 that'll start in race number 6. So that's all your stakes races in there. That's fun. Mandatory payout for the Jackpot Power Pick 6, but like you said, it starts anew today. A mandatory payout for the Jackpot High 5. So we know, because we did this, I think, on plate day, and I think we started with 0, and we still had a whole bunch of money that went into that wager. It's a popular wager. We're going to have some handicappers join us from the various parts of the world who are going to give us their selections for the Jackpot High Five and some selections throughout the day as well.
And what's so nice on a big day like today is you get international trainers, international horses, international riders, and you get some big pools, which is fantastic too. Really, the 2 cards today are Churchill and here. So Churchill, they have obviously some significant preps for the Derby, but I wouldn't want to trade spaces with anybody. I want to be right here at Woodbine, and I'm very glad to be here with you as we look forward to the 12 race program, and hopefully we have some winners along the way.
I would like to see some sunshine pop out at one point, but so far no rain in the forecast.
That's good.
So that's some good news, because I was worried about having to get out the umbrella for the afternoon as well. What happened this morning as everybody was busy getting ready for what we have taking place this afternoon, and then of course it's business as usual for other barns as well who are out there training. Ernie listed the track a 4 out of 5 as far as quickness is concerned. Inside, I mean, come on, man, it's like 98.9% of the time he gives us the inside. Work of the day is a horse by the name of Hint. Now, I don't recall this horse. I know you're probably looking him up right now. This is a Gail Cox runner who worked from the gate in 47-1. What's the scoop on this one?
So this is a 3-year-old who hasn't made it to the races yet, a silent name that looks pretty close. They haven't gone to 5/8 as of yet, but worked this morning from the gate in 47-1 getting ready. So out of an Irish mare too, so kind of a nicely bred individual. I'm actually surprised that name wasn't taken. Hint. It's a pretty simple name, but Hint. Yeah, so that one's a first time start. Not a 2-year-old though, but a 3-year-old, and it would be great to see Gail having some late season success.
You know what? Just speaking of that, you brought up an interesting point. We have Wild Desert on today's program. We talk about renaming a horse. Like, I thought you weren't allowed to repeat a name when a horse was a big name.
But they have the
Euro version?
Irish, right? So so you can do it that way.
All right. Okay, so we're looking forward to today's program, and we are going to just talk about the stakes races in store for you today, which start in race number 6. It's going to be a lot of hustle and a lot of bustle out there, because we are going from stake to stake to stake to stake to stake. And we will start with the Grade 1 Summer. This, of course, is a win and you're in event. It's also where we kick off the Turf Champions Pick 3 wager. We have the guaranteed Pick 5 wager that starts in this race for $250,000. And to me, Jeff, I know, the highlight is the mile, but to me, this is the race I'm most excited to see, because we've had so much fun watching our local runners, and now they're going to have to hook up with some of these Irish horses, and Godolphin is loaded for bear this afternoon.
And what a trip here with Wild Deserts. This was not good, and it was not his fault. He got impeded substantially and on numerous occasions by this horse in the all white on this day. And there's the horse that's going to cause all the problems. And here's the eventual winner. This is the winner actually ridden by William Buick, who's going to ride our horse today. But this poor horse just gets into all kinds of trouble. I really don't think they ever got a chance to really ride Wild Desert in this race. Just repeatedly taken up. It was the truck master says it right. A slightly messy race, and that was very accurate to describe. The other hero here is a Secret Adversary, got a big, beautiful white blaze. I was looking at some replays with this horse. Was hard ridden last time, but got the win nonetheless. But I think this is where the locals have got their best shot to win in these the 3 Breeders' Cup Challenge winner events. I'm excited about Military Time. I'm excited about 2 Out Hero. Here's a look at some stats that we put together in regards to how these horses performed in the most recent races. And 2 Out Hero, what I liked about that last race was, and I think you caught up with Kevin and he talked about this, was they were able to sort of teach the horse to kind of sit off it a little bit as well, and able to win. And now we're going to go around 2 turns in here. So obviously, this is a big race for this one. Looking forward to potentially a start in the Breeders' Cup. We'll look at some of the others in this race too. You got Bill of Ice, a horse that you liked first time out. It's beautifully bred. Marcus J, one of our most impressive first time out winners. And this was the one that we said looked like a man against the boys, right?
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait to see him again. And looks like the works are kind of lights out since the race as well.
I just wish this horse had more time.
I agree. However, and I'm going to use a reference here that is kind of a wacky reference, but last weekend in Kentucky, at Kentucky Downs, there was a juvenile race for $1 million, and it was 2-year-olds. The winner had just run in under a week and came back to romp again. So, they were asking Caitlin Bradar about, was she concerned about the quick comeback? And she said, not so much with babies, because you're not treating babies the same way you're treating older horses.
I thought that was a really interesting point too. So I did find that interesting too.
Also, babies aren't on Lasix necessarily, so you're not wiping them out and then expecting them to come back and go.
Now, Military Time was. Now he's off Lasix.
I know.
That's something we should actually point out too. Is that for these Beer Scout Challenge, when you're in events, you cannot race on Lasix. And thus our local horses will be coming off Lasix, a lot of them. I'll tell you who I think is the real wild card in here. That's Teddy's Rocket. Teddy's Rocket was able to win first time out. I like the fact the horse won going around 2 turns too at Saratoga. Now got a perfect trip on that day, but just did it really, really nicely. So I kind of like that one. I kind of like Argos and the fact that he's now had some success here. That's a plus as well. But if you were playing like some of these multiple leg wagers today, how deep would you have to go, do you think?
Do you think there's an actual key in these races?
I would key notable speech.
Would you?
Like,
I think we all agree, or at least the people that we've talked to, all like the Godolphin horses, right? I mean, we just kind of see them as some standouts. But with 2-year-olds, I can't.
And especially
I have
this
to go
year.
deep. Yeah, and I'm really not sure. I'd like to see these Kevin Attard horses just pop up. Like, I would love to see 2 Out Here come back and win again. I'm a real fan of his, but I also want to see what Marcus J is capable of.
Yeah, same.
Because, like I said, his debut was so amazing. And Military Time was one of the most impressive 2-year-olds we've had. Now, we look forward to some big years with both Marcus J and Military Time, because they could be in the plate next year as well.
And what's so unique about this race too for us that we get here is we get like Ontario breds in here too. Like a horse like a Military Time taking on these impeccably bred horses as well.
Marcus J, same thing.
Well, look at Wild Desert. This is a half to Shadow of Light, a multiple Group 1 winner that made $750,000 too. So yeah, you're right. These pedigrees are just fantastic in here. And listen, a lot of this is going to have to do with racing luck today with the way the course is. And
Absolutely.
it's a big field with 2-year-olds too.
Yep, it is. It is. So that's the first of our 5 major stakes events. It is a win and you're in, the Grade 1 Summer Stakes, which will go as race number 6. Let's go to the 7th race on the card. This is the Ontario Matron. Now, it's a Grade 3, and it features a lot of local horses, but there is a new local horse in the mix, and that is Wild Pansy for Kevin Attard. I mean, there's obviously a story behind this mare, because she had this monstrous late kick, which you're going to see in this replay. But also she was a private purchase from Godolphin to Rapoli, and that wasn't just a couple of bucks.
And what I like too, Lisa, is look at the size of the fields that this horse has been racing against. 16 horses, 16, 15, 16, 16. So it's a big field today, so that's not going to be an issue. But I just think, you and I were watching this replay earlier on this morning, I said to you, what I like about her? She's kind of nifty, I said. She's just got this ability to just kick on so substantially late on in races in here, and she's been here at Woodbine for a long time. Now, there's a couple things that are against her in here. First of all, she hasn't run yet this season, which is obviously not ideal. The second thing is, this probably isn't her best distance. We're only going a mile of 16th, and more often than not, she likes a little bit longer. Like, to me, obviously, the main goal is the Maple Leaf Stakes with this horse. But they're going to give it a go in here. She gets on to Lasix, has made onto the clock report early and often since being here in this spot. So I'm going to put this one on top as my top selection.
The other thing too, and somebody brought this up, I think it was Luke who brought this up with you yesterday as well, is take into account the weight changes too.
Yeah.
I mean, that mare, Wild Pansy, last started out carried 133 pounds, and today she's going to carry 121 pounds. That's a massive difference. So the works indicate that she's ready to go. Lots of us going in her direction, with the exception of the morning line in which they put Caitlin Her Greatness on top. Jeff, I don't want to get off of her bandwagon because she's been such a cool horse, but she just hasn't been.
Remember how good she was first time off the bench? To be thinking, wow, she's going to have a massive, massive year. Now, I'm willing to give her the last start. She was just overmatched in that most recent race, but I'm kind of with you.
When she got beat by Literate, that's when I was like,
Yeah, for sure. And that's in the back of your mind. You've got, there's this, who had an awful trip last time? It was this Johanny. If you get a chance to watch, we just don't have enough time to show the replays, but if you get a chance to pull up that replay at Del Mar, this horse was flying, and then the rider had to slam on the brakes and take up. So that was a bit of a messy journey with that that one. Yohani in race number 7 as well.
All right, so the 7th race again is the Grade 3 Ontario Matron, 1 mile and 1/16 the distance. What does throw you off, and it threw off Robert yesterday, and it threw me off too, is that the first few horses you take a look at are all grass horses.
Yeah.
And so they're going to be transitioning over to the synthetic. For example, Dancin' and Dixie, I know that she's raced primarily on the turf, but she is 2 for 2 on a synthetic surface. You just got to look way back to find it. The other one is the Mike Trombetta horse, who has never tried a synthetic surface, has raced now 18 times, and all of those have been on the turf. So some horses trying something different in race number 7. Let's go to the 8th race, which is the Grade 1 Natalma. So we have the boys in the summer, and then we have the girls in the Natalma. I think this year, it's just my opinion, I think the boys have been much, much stronger. As far as the girls are concerned, I haven't had a female 2-year-old that's really jumped out at me the same way it has with, say, a Marcus J, a 2-out hero, the military time horse. But someone's going to get a lion's share of $500,000. And this dance to the music course is just so interesting. From the Appleby barn, a perfect 2 for 2 and winning in England.
And I think it's a little green still.
Yeah.
And again, we were watching the replays earlier on today, and again, you brought up a good point. We're watching this replay. It's not like they really got into the horse until very late in terms of using the whip with this horse, right?
Never touched her really.
But still, it's going to start to wander a little bit in here. And listen, she's so nicely bred. She's a half to a Breeders' Cup Mile winner in Space Blues. She's a half to another Group 1 winner, Sharuk. But right now, we're kind of really asking. We're shaking the reins, and now we're starting to wander a little bit. It's starting to get a little green. But just levels that head off a little bit and holds off everybody, and able to pull off the victory in this spot too, which is great. But again, these races, they're at Newmarket. These were the straightaway races, right? So we do have to deal with the turns here today as well. So that's going to be a bit of a transition for this horse. But certainly, you got to respect this one's chances. And didn't you find it interesting too? Eddie Olchuk brought up a great point about deep learning. So he was talking with Chad Brown, and he was asking about deep learning. And Chad said, "You know what? I would not have come for this race this year, except it is 2 turns." Because the horse ran on going 2 turns at Saratoga last time.
Right, that's true. That's true. But also, didn't he bring up another interesting stat on Chad Brown that he's 0 for?
That was Luke, I think. Yeah, from Sky Sports.
Yeah, in the last couple of years. Which makes you kind of go, right? Even though I did use deep learning in the 2nd place spot, I just think this dance to the music is the horse to beat. And out of the local group, who's the local horse that you lean
probably,
towards?
I would say Corsia Veloce is one that I kind of like a little bit in here.
Perfect 2 for 2.
And really moved up on the grass, I think. The speed figure tells you that. It goes from a 58 to 85 all of a sudden.
Well, and you also have to assume horse came out of the race fantastic, right? In the catch a glimpse, because I remember interviewing Josie and said, if everything goes as planned, will we see you in the Natalma? And she said absolutely. That was, that's the thing with these babies. If things work out for you and you time everything right, there's a nice little schedule where you can, break your maiden early. Then you got like a race like, say, the Soaring Free that you can point towards. And then if things go well in the Soaring Free for the boys or the Catch a Glimpse for the girls, you have the summer or you have the Natalma, and then that wraps up your season.
What do we do with Hot Mash?
Good question, buddy.
5.5 furlongs. The horse duels through 20-1, 42-3, and still wins by 7. Like, does this horse just go to the front and not stop?
Well, the other thing too is, how do we rate an Ellis Park maiden special?
Tougher than it used to be.
There goes my glasses.
Blinkers off.
Got another set here.
Tougher than it used to be, for sure, because Kentucky money's so good, as you know now, right? So definitely tougher than it used to be, for sure. But can you go from 5 to, like, it's one thing to go from like 6-7 to a mile, 5.5 to a mile. That's a bit of a trick. Like, you would think this horse is going to be right on the inch. Now, this one's a half to a Group 1 winner, Grade 1 winner, Peace and War too. So just great to see horses like this here at Woodbine. And you know what? It would be great. Like, could you imagine if Dixie Law won this race and your Dale Durousseau and he won it great? Like, what a Cinderella story that would be.
I know. And hey, fingers crossed. And I know his kids are going to be decked out to the nines. They are always well dressed when they come over to the walking ring, and I love that. I really love, for me, on major days, to see everybody
all
turned out well. It's like when you go to visit your grandma. You wouldn't come over there in a pair of junky old jeans.
Oh, my grandma would let me know too.
Oh, mine too.
But so you're kind of thinking, and we'll do our comparison at the end of the day, though. But you're kind of thinking that maybe the boys might go a little quicker than the girls.
I just think the boys are real powerhouses this year. Like, I haven't, in my opinion, I haven't seen a filly that I'm like, wow, this is it. You know.
Oh, you might see it today.
Might see it today. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one. So race number 8 on the program will kick off another pick 3 on the card, and then we'll have the big dance coming up next, which of course is the Grade 1 Woodbine Mile. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll discuss the Woodbine Mile being run on the inner turf for the first time in history.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
There are millions of square kilometers without coverage across Canada. Places where it's hard to reach 911 or just check in. Introducing Rogers Satellite, a new satellite to mobile texting service that connects your phone in areas without cell service. So you can connect here, here, or even here. And now anyone on any provider can try it for free. Rogers Satellite. The sky's the limit.
Well, welcome back, as we have just 30 minutes to go before this massive day of racing here at Woodbine as we celebrate Turf Champions Day here. And this one is the highlight. This is the one that everybody comes to see, the Grade 1 Woodbine Mile, run for the first time on the inner turf course in Woodbine history. So that makes it an exciting race. And like I said, it'll be a trivia question at some point in time. We have a field of 9 who will line up, and 8-5 the price on Notable Speech, who's here for who? Charlie Appleby, who could go home with a ton of Canadian cash if everything goes his way today.
And when have you seen a race like this in which the 2 morning line favorites are coming off of brutal trips? Their most recent races. And here's a look at Notable Speech, and Buick Road on this day just didn't work out. You know, no room in here. And I love races like this where they all gravitate towards the rail like this. And you were mentioning too, if this horse Notable Speech was right on the rail and you were right on the rail, you would have been like, whoa!
Backing up,
yeah, exactly. So just watch this horse with the blue cap, and we just can't get out. And
but they do eventually.
Gets the rail. Look at the horse fly once we get to the inside in here. Just will absolutely fly up the rail in here. Like this is
what I'm saying. Like, if I'm standing on the rail and I see a horse make a left-hand turn, I'm like, you know, that's when you grab your children and push them away. I mean, that is a really exciting replay. Now you have another one though that we want to show too, and this is the South Africa horse. Did you ask Ryan Munger anything about this one?
I did, and Ryan said this horse did something that was very difficult to do. So he said there's 2 big races. There's the Guineas and the Plate, and it's very difficult to win both races because the Guineas is for 3-year-olds, and the next race is the King's Plate, which is for older horses, and he won both races. Then he came off the layoff on March the 16th, and the trip just did not work out. We're going to show you the pan, and then eventually we're going to show you the head-on as well. And here we go with this horse right now up the inside, and the rider eventually is going to have to do some take-up right there. And now you regroup, and you try to get something, and it's too late. You know, you got nothing. But the head-on really shows you. The head-on is just like hockey season hasn't started here, and you're not going to see too many horses take body checks in hockey like this horse is going to take right now. So just watch this one on the inside, and this is one stripe, and we're trying, and the horse is trying to quicken, and here we go right there, like that. Can you imagine how jarred up it would be after that?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And so now I've been here in North America for a while down in Fairhill for conditioner Graham Motion, and Johnny V picks up the mount. But yeah, no, I did pick Ryan Munger's brain about it because obviously he's the great guy to talk about it. about the horse. He says this is like one of the best horses in South Africa.
Well,
now, I don't know where the South Africa form fits into the Woodbine scene or North America, but I mean, obviously this horse has done something that's very, very difficult to do.
And look at this. We're all taking the
Clean
Euros
sweep
in this race as well.
Give me a wise guy horse, though.
A wise guy horse? My boy Prince.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You know, I think I'm really excited to have him back home, right? Because, you know, he's been well traveled, right? I mean, you and I were watching the race when he won at the Belmont at Aqueduct meet. That was exciting.
First time gelding.
Yeah, that was when he was, and then the Jaipur, of course, was a great effort for him to finish in second, and then here to run second to Patches in the Highlander, and he almost got him.
Yeah,
almost up along the rail that day. And then the 4-star Dave. I mean, he's been in against some real monsters, and I'm really happy to have him back in Toronto.
Has there been any less press for a former winner in a race than win for the money?
I know.
Like, nobody has mentioned this horse's name at all.
I know. Won it last year, paid good money. You know, was maybe a bit of a surprise when she won. When he won last season, but is not really getting too much chatter. You're 100% right about that.
Do you think Gas Me Up is capable of being this sponge? Or does he have to improve too much, do you think?
Well, he's coming out of the King Eddie, and you look at what he was in against there. So Wyoming Bill is in the spot. I don't think Wyoming Bill is going to get a ton of support, even with Frankie Dettori here. I mean, it's always fun to have them. Twin City. We're going to see Twin City on the card in the Vigil. And I think my own personal opinion about Twin City is that he likes the cooler weather.
You'll love today.
So today might be kind of a perfect day for him. I know they were calling for it to start to heat up, but if it stays cool, watch him on cooler days. I like him in the fall and in the spring.
And you know what, Stanley House, listen, I personally would have gone in the Singspiel, but they're going to go in this race instead. And that new bit, he has
That's right.
He has really blossomed since that new bit came in. He's not been lugging out at all, which is terrific. Yeah,
so I mean, it would be great for our locals if they could happen to do it, but they're going to have to put their racing shoes on to beat these Euro horses that are coming in as well. So that is race number 9, of course, the Grade 1 Woodbine Mile, as we go to race number 10, which is the Vigil. And this will be the last of our stakes events. It is a Grade 3, going 7/8 of a mile on the main track. Look, there's two things here. I'm happy to see Wicked Django back. I'm not happy to see Three Works coming back into a really tough spot. I don't, if it's me, I'd probably find a softer spot. But I mean, hey, we'll see what he's capable of the Three Works, and we don't know either where he's been and what's been keeping him away. But this is really the storyline. And I saw you yesterday talking to the different people that you had in here, and you're like, what about Simcoe? You kept pressing everybody.
I don't know what to do with Simcoe.
I know. But the way he won, Jeff.
He runs this race again, he wins.
I know.
But can he run this race again?
It depends if his screws are on tight. That's my thing. There was something, and I was trying to get it out of Katrina. There was something so different about him last start out. And even when we were walking back just candidly, I'm like, what did you change something? What did you change? Right? Nothing. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just the way he did it. I feel like he can do it again. I really do.
Well, he's definitely the horse to beat, and it was a bit of a speedy track on plate day too. Like Mancetti wired the field, and this horse went right to the front on that day too. I'm going to go back towards victory achieved. I didn't think he had a great journey last time out. Now he's going to have to improve. Now, Donnie had a tough decision to make with Cruden Bay because they were thinking mile and they were looking at this race.
I like this one better.
I do too. I think this is the spot. And you kind of forget, because he's on turf so much, how good Cruden Bay is on the synthetic. He is really, really good on the synthetic too. Now, the thing that might get him beat a little bit here is this his optimum distance, or would he love for the race to be a mile? I think he's okay going 7.
Well, yeah. He won the Connaught twice at 7/8, right?
Exactly. But that's
on the grass.
Yeah, and a bit of a different. But still, I think he'll be okay here. I just... what do we do as riders in here? Do you go after Simcoe? Can anybody go after Simcoe in this spot? That's why I was kind of hoping Huntmaster would go here. Yeah. But now Simcoe might have an easier time right up front. You know why I think we're a little hemming and hawing about Simcoe is because we thought he would romp in the Jacques Cartier. Right. And if he romped in the Jacques Cartier and didn't get beat by was like a claimer, right?
I think we'd be like, he's it. But it's that day that he let us down when we thought he'd win that race. No problem.
Like this race for him potentially could have championship implications for champion sprinter at the end of the year too, right? This would go a long way for him to pull off. Listen, he's a much improved horse. He's really, really good right now. And the bottom line is this: he runs that last race, nobody's beating him in this spot.
Yep. He's one of our best local chances to win a stake race today.
And and he's Canadian, uncertain bred too, which is great.
And of course, he's owned by some great people who support us here all the time and are often visitors here when Rob Landry comes in to give us an inside scoop on some horses. We always appreciate that. Now, race number 12 is how we wrap things up, and that, of course, is the Jackpot High Five, which has that mandatory payout today. And, you know, for me, you look at this one, it's the optional 50, it's a mile on the inner. It's a great field. You have a nice big group of horses to compete in here. Take out the one, of course, that being Cool Kiss. But is it as easy as Niagara Skyline again?
He likes the course, for sure. He won pretty nicely last time out. The runner-up came back to win Western World in 91. The fourth place finisher came back to win that being Uphill Dance, who I think you liked the other day. Somebody liked, or maybe it was Robert, like the other day. An optional claimer got an 85 buyer. If he gets the trip, he'll be tough. The question mark horse for me, and I wanted to pick him so bad because how well he ran off the bench was is Jayhawk. But he doesn't really have a ton of turf breeding. So I put him second. Doug's going to win that one's direction, so he ran a tremendous race. And the Lac Macasa, I didn't know what to do with Lac Macasa.
I don't know, buddy. I don't like that he's back for 50.
Yeah.
You know, like I guess they took him with the Seagram Cup in mind, but I don't think Julia Carey, you know, was crying any tears over that after she lost the horse for 50.
With that horse, so.
She made the money. Yeah. Now, what would be interesting would be to see if anybody does take a look at the horse like this. And actually, Niagara Skyline's been dangled like a carrot too for the last couple of starts as well, right? But I just like Niagara Skyline. I think he had a massive excuse 2 starts back.
Yep. And I'll tell you who ran a whole lot better last time out and might be getting back in the zone is your third pick, No More Options. He woke up big time last time
He did. And that was the first time that Slade Jones jumped aboard him. So, you know, there's a young rider who is working his way into this barn, right? He seems to be getting quite a few calls.
Starting to become the go-to.
He is starting to become the go-to. Pretty soon we're going to call him Slade Kretschmar.
Yeah, that's right.
Plays of the day. Wow, did that time ever go by fast? So what do you have, Jeff? Because today's a tough day to kind of find horses that are keys and singles on the program.
So in the third, I picked this horse last time out in the stake, that being the Catch a Glimpse, and she ran well, and she just got one a little bit too late. This is on my time, though I think we'll appreciate the stretch out. I've been waiting for Wild Pansy, finally gets a chance to go. And I want to get Wild Pansy now, because say the horse runs well today, and the Maple Leaf, she's going to be 4 to 5. My multi-leg single is going to be Dance the Music, that coming up in race number 8. So I'm going to kind of key in on that one. Trying to get a Godolphin horse at a bit of a better price than what Notable Speech is going to be. And then I'm going to stick with Victory Achieved. He did let me down last time out.
Well, I went to Wild Pansy as well as my horse in the 7th race. Fly In to Win. So the horse that ships in to get it done from England, of course, is Dance to the Music. That's the one I'm going for. Eurostar. I got a lot of Euros on my program today, but the big boy, the boy that I want to party with when he wins race number 11 is Bachelor Pad, because you and me have talked about this, and Norma's sitting on $9.99.
It would only be appropriate.
It's meant to be.
I don't think any horse probably won more for Norm than that horse.
Well, he had a couple of other ones back in the day that were close, but this guy is pretty amazing. And, you know, the fact that he's this kind of old, this awesome, and won 15, 16 races, has never got the other than, I mean, that would just be cool. Plays of the day from our Woodbine TV prod include Classic Discovery in the 3rd race. Argos is a top selection from Ron Gearkink in race number 6. That's going to be at a good price. Argos, who ships in. And Doug's got Notable Speech 8 to 5, the price on that one in race number 9 on the card. We also have clogger horses to pass along your way. We'll start with Scotch Mist.
I didn't know what to do with this horse.
Donnie, huh? All right.
First time we're going 2 turns.
I think, let me just pull up my form here, but I think, there's a lot of works. I mean, obviously he's done his job. The mare on this one. She won a stakes event back in her day called the Hut Hut. This is the fourth foal.
The Hut Hut Stakes?
You got it. And I know what that means now, Jeff, because
That's right, you're in the football
I'm
pool.
still in the football pool. What did I have last week? Broncos.
Yep,
and I'm going to be asking various people out there what their top selection is for tomorrow as well. But Scotch Mist at 10-1 is a top selection from our clocker Ernie Perry, and Wild Pansy. No surprise there, because Ernie loves to pick his Kevin Attard horses as horses to watch in the morning. And this one, of course, has been lighten things up.
And worked with Starvin last time, but it was in the first race today.
Ah, there's a nice reference as well.
Starvin's a little maiden claimer and has to work with that horse.
Well, somebody's got to be the workmate.
I know.
We've got 12 in store for you today. 5 stakes events, 3 Breeders' Cup win, and you're in events on this Turf Champions Day from Woodbine. See you soon.